the day before our 20th wedding anniversary. The anticipation of our planned trip to Hawaii filled me with excitement. I had meticulously planned every detail, from the sunset dinners to the secluded beaches, wanting this celebration to be a perfect tribute to our 2 decades together. I had just finished packing when my phone rang. It was our daughter, Caitlin, calling from her college dorm. Her voice trembled, a quiver of urgency that immediately set off alarms in my mind. "Dad, I need you to come here. It's really important," she said, sounding on the verge of tears. I rushed to her, concern gnawing at me as I drove the hour-long distance. Caitlin had never sounded so distressed before. Arriving at her dorm, she met me at the door, her face pale and eyes wide with worry. "What's going on?" I asked, my voice heavy with concern. She didn't answer immediately. Instead, she led me into her small, cluttered room and handed me her phone. The images on the screen hit me like a punch to the gut. There, in stark clarity, were pictures of my wife, Emily, in the intimate embrace of another man, someone I didn't recognize. They were sitting close together in a dimly lit restaurant, their faces almost touching, sharing a private world of their own. In one photo, they kissed. For a moment, the room spun around me. My vision blurred, my breath caught in my throat. I felt an icy wave of disbelief wash over me, mingling with a red-hot surge of anger. Caitlin's voice broke through the haze. "I saw them yesterday," she said softly. "I thought you needed to know." I couldn't find the words to respond. Instead, I sat heavily on the edge of Caitlin's bed, staring at the phone screen. Emily's betrayal cut deeper than I could have imagined, slicing through the memories of our life together, our shared laughter, our long talks into the night, the dreams we had built. All of it seemed to shatter in an instant. Caitlin's eyes were filled with a mix of concern and sorrow. "I didn't know what else to do," she whispered, tears brimming in her eyes. "I'm so sorry, Dad." I reached out, pulling her into a hug, though my own strength was faltering. "You did the right thing," I murmured, though the words felt hollow. My mind was already racing, trying to process this revelation, struggling to understand how my wife, the woman I had loved and trusted for 20 years, could do this to me. The drive back home felt surreal, as if I were in a waking nightmare. The familiar streets, the comforting routine of our suburban neighborhood, all seemed tainted now. I parked in our driveway and sat there for a moment, gripping the steering wheel, trying to gather the shattered fragments of my composure. Inside, the house was eerily quiet. I could hear Emily humming softly in the kitchen, unaware of the storm brewing just a room away. I had to force myself to walk through the door, to face her with the knowledge that now burned in my chest like acid. As I entered, Emily looked up with a warm smile. "Hey, you're back early," she said, her eyes sparkling with the same affection I had always seen. But now, those eyes seemed to mock me, hiding secrets behind their familiar warmth. I nodded, barely able to manage a response. "Caitlin needed something," I said, my voice sounding distant even to my own ears. The weight of what I had seen pressed down on me, making it hard to breathe, hard to think. For the rest of the evening, I went through the motions of normalcy, each word, each gesture a carefully constructed facade. Emily laughed, talked about our upcoming trip, her excitement evident. I could barely respond, my mind a chaotic swirl of betrayal and pain. That night, as Emily slept beside me, I lay awake, staring at the ceiling. Every breath felt like a struggle, every heartbeat a reminder of the pictures etched into my mind. The man in the photos, the way Emily had looked at him. It was all I could think about. By morning, I had made a decision. Confronting Emily outright wouldn't be enough. The hurt she had caused, the betrayal, deserved more than just an angry confrontation. I needed to plan my next steps carefully to ensure that when the truth came out, it would hit her with the full weight of her actions. I decided to play the long game, to gather evidence, to watch and wait. I began discreetly tracking Emily's movements, observing her interactions, noting her behaviors. Each new piece of information felt like another nail in the coffin of our marriage, but it also fueled my resolve. Through it all, I maintained the facade of a loving husband, masking the storm of emotions raging inside me. The upcoming anniversary, which I had once anticipated with such joy, became a grim deadline. I would confront Emily after our trip, but in a way that would leave no room for denial or escape. For now, I had to endure, to play my part, to bide my time. The man she had been seeing, their stolen moments, they would become the instruments of her downfall. I would make sure that when the truth came to light, it would do so in a way that left no doubt about the consequences of her betrayal. And so, the preparations for our anniversary continued, the plans proceeding as if nothing had changed. Emily, oblivious to my knowledge, continued with her deceit, unaware that the ground beneath her was slowly giving way. As I finalized our travel arrangements, I couldn't help but feel a cold, steely determination settle within me. The trip would indeed mark the end of an era, but not in the way Emily had ever imagined. The days leading up to our anniversary passed in a strange, surreal blur. Emily continued to act as if nothing was wrong, her excitement for the trip palpable in every conversation, every gesture. Meanwhile, I buried myself in preparations, channeling my emotions into meticulous planning. It was an odd juxtaposition, finalizing plans for a romantic getaway while my heart was a seething mass of betrayal and fury. In the evenings, I would sit quietly at my desk, sifting through the evidence I had gathered. Emily's text messages, the records of her clandestine meetings, the photographs Caitlin had taken. Each piece was a shard of the truth, a dagger twisting in my heart. Yet, I knew I had to keep up the charade a little longer. The trip was the perfect cover for what I was planning. On the day of our departure, I maintained the facade of enthusiasm, forcing a smile as we loaded our suitcases into the car. Emily chattered happily about the itinerary, her excitement almost infectious, but every word, every laugh, grated against my nerves, a painful reminder of her deceit. The flight to Hawaii was uneventful, a monotonous stretch of time during which I oscillated between numbness and barely contained rage. Emily, seated beside me, was a picture of serene contentment, flipping through travel brochures and occasionally glancing over at me with a smile. I responded in kind, but inside, my thoughts churned darkly. As we arrived at the resort, a luxurious haven nestled among swaying palm trees and golden sands, Emily's eyes lit up with joy. "This place is incredible," she exclaimed, her excitement almost childlike. I nodded, masking my turmoil behind a facade of calm. Our suite was everything we had hoped for, spacious with a breathtaking view of the ocean, a balcony that seemed to hang over the turquoise waves. Emily unpacked quickly, eager to explore, while I pretended to be equally enthusiastic. The pain of her betrayal was a constant, dull ache, but I pushed it aside. I needed to stay focused. That evening, we had dinner at a beachfront restaurant. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm, golden glow over the water. Emily seemed entranced by the setting, her face bathed in the soft light. As I watched her, a wave of conflicting emotions surged through me: love, anger, heartbreak, and a cold, calculated resolve. The next few days were a whirlwind of activities. We snorkeled in crystal-clear waters, hiked through lush rainforests, and relaxed on secluded beaches. Emily's laughter rang out often, her joy seemingly genuine, and for brief moments, it almost felt like old times. But every time I caught her glancing at her phone, or noticed a flicker of something unreadable in her eyes, the reality of her betrayal crashed down on me again. I used the time to my advantage, subtly gathering more information. I watched her interactions with other guests, noting any signs of secrecy or guilt. I scanned her messages when she wasn't looking, cataloging her conversations. Each new piece of data was added to my growing arsenal, reinforcing my resolve. One afternoon, while Emily was at a spa appointment, I contacted my lawyer, Michael. We had discussed my situation in detail before the trip, and now I needed his help to finalize my plans. I told him about my intention to confront Emily publicly, to expose her deceit in a way that would leave no room for denial. Michael listened carefully, offering his advice on the best way to proceed. He would be ready to file the divorce papers as soon as I gave the word. The final day of our trip arrived, the sun blazing in a cloudless sky. Emily suggested a romantic dinner on the beach to cap off our vacation, and I agreed, hiding my true intentions behind a mask of affectionate anticipation. We dressed up for the occasion, Emily in a flowing white dress that made her look almost ethereal, me in a crisp shirt and slacks. The restaurant was set up on the sand, with tables draped in white cloths, candles flickering in the gentle breeze. As we sat down, The waves lapping softly at the shore, Emily reached across the table, taking my hand. "This has been perfect," she said, her voice filled with genuine warmth. "Thank you for this, John. I love you." The words stung, a cruel irony that twisted the knife of her betrayal even deeper. I forced a smile, squeezing her hand lightly. "I'm glad you've enjoyed it," I replied, my voice steady despite the storm raging inside me. "There's something I need to talk to you about." Emily's smile faltered slightly, a flicker of uncertainty crossing her face. "What is it?" she asked, her tone tentative. I took a deep breath, summoning the courage to follow through with my plan. "I know about you and Mark," I said, my voice low but firm. The name, which I had finally discovered through my investigation, hung in the air between us, a heavy, damning accusation. Emily's eyes widened, shock and confusion warring on her face. "What are you talking about?" she stammered, her voice a hushed whisper. I pulled out my phone, scrolling to the folder where I had saved the photos, the messages, the evidence of her affair. I placed it on the table, pushing it toward her. "I've known for a while," I said, my voice hardening. "I've seen the photos, read the messages. I know everything." For a moment, Emily was frozen, her eyes fixed on the screen. Then her face crumpled, her eyes filling with tears. "John, I can explain," she began, but I cut her off with a sharp shake of my head. "There's nothing to explain," I said, my voice cold. "You betrayed me, Emily. You lied to me, to our family. I don't want to hear your excuses." Emily's tears flowed freely now, her sobs breaking the stillness of the evening. "Please, John, I'm so sorry," she pleaded, her voice choked with emotion. "It was a mistake, a terrible mistake. I didn't mean to hurt you." I felt a pang of sadness, but I steeled myself against it. "It's too late for apologies," I said quietly. "I've already spoken to a lawyer. When we get back, I'm filing for divorce." The words seemed to drain the fight out of her. She slumped in her chair, her face buried in her hands, her shoulders shaking with silent sobs. I watched her, feeling a strange mix of satisfaction and sorrow. This was the end of our marriage, the end of 20 years of shared dreams and memories. But it was also a new beginning, a chance to rebuild my life free from deceit. As the evening drew to a close, I stood up, leaving Emily at the table. The sound of the waves, the distant murmur of other diners, the soft glow of the candles. It all seemed surreal, a backdrop to the drama that had played out between us. I walked away, my heart heavy but my resolve unshaken. In the quiet of our suite, I packed my things, preparing for the flight back. Emily had retreated to the balcony, her silhouette stark against the twilight sky. As I zipped up my suitcase, I glanced at her, feeling a pang of regret for what could have been. But I knew that this was the only way forward, the only way to reclaim my life from the wreckage of her betrayal. Tomorrow, we would return home, and I would begin the process of starting over. It wouldn't be easy, but I was determined to find a new path, a new future. As I closed my suitcase, I took one last look around the room, a bittersweet farewell to the life I had known. Then, with a deep breath, I turned away, ready to face whatever lay ahead. The flight back to New York was a somber, wordless journey. Emily sat beside me, her face a mask of misery, eyes red and swollen from the tears she had shed the night before. I kept my gaze firmly fixed on the window, watching the landscape below change from the turquoise waters of Hawaii to the endless expanse of the Pacific, and then to the rolling patchwork quilt of the continental United States. The flight attendants moved up and down the aisle, offering drinks and snacks, but I barely noticed them. My mind was a turmoil of emotions, anger, grief, and a steely determination to move forward. Arriving back at JFK, we collected our luggage in silence and made our way to the parking lot. The drive home was equally quiet, the air between us thick with unspoken words and lingering pain. Emily occasionally glanced at me, her eyes searching for some sign of forgiveness or understanding, but I kept my focus on the road ahead. My resolve had not wavered. I had already spoken to Michael, and he was preparing to serve Emily with the divorce papers. Our home, usually a place of warmth and comfort, now felt cold and empty as we walked through the front door. I set my suitcase down in the hallway, the echo of it hitting the floor a stark reminder of the finality of my decision. Emily followed me, her movements slow and hesitant, as if she were a stranger in her own home. I'm going to stay at a hotel tonight, I said, breaking the heavy silence. I couldn't bear the thought of sharing the same space with her, not after everything that had happened. Emily's face crumpled, and she nodded wordlessly. Please, John, she whispered, her voice cracking. Can't we talk about this? Can't we try to work things out? I shook my head, my heart hardening against her pleas. There's nothing left to talk about, I said firmly. I need time to think, to process everything. Staying here won't help either of us. I gathered a few essentials from our bedroom, deliberately avoiding the photos and mementos that cluttered our shelves and walls. Each picture, each trinket, was a reminder of the life we had shared, a life now irrevocably shattered. As I packed, Emily stood in the doorway, her eyes following my every move, her expression a mixture of despair and desperation. Once I had my things, I headed back downstairs. Emily trailed behind me, her footsteps hesitant and uncertain. At the front door, I turned to face her, feeling a pang of regret for the hurt in her eyes. But I knew that staying would only prolong the pain for both of us. I'll be in touch, I said quietly, then turned and walked out, closing the door behind me with a finality that echoed through the silent house. The hotel I chose was a modest one, a place that offered anonymity and solitude. As I checked in and made my way to my room, I felt a strange sense of relief. The room was small, with basic furnishings and a view of the parking lot, but it was a sanctuary from the turmoil of the past few days. I dropped my bag on the floor and collapsed onto the bed, staring up at the ceiling as the events of the past weeks replayed in my mind. Over the next few days, I settled into a routine of sorts. I went to work, trying to lose myself in the demands of my job, but the memories of Emily's betrayal were never far from my thoughts. I spoke to Michael regularly, finalizing the details of the divorce, ensuring that everything was in place. At night, I would return to my hotel room, the silence a stark contrast to the life I had known. The kids, Caitlin and our son Tom, were my main concern. Caitlin had known about Emily's affair before I did, and she had been the one to reveal the truth. Tom, on the other hand, was blissfully unaware of the storm brewing in our family. I dreaded the conversation I knew I had to have with them, the moment when I would have to shatter their world, just as mine had been shattered. One evening, as I sat in my hotel room, I decided it was time to talk to them. I called Caitlin first, explaining that I needed her to come home for the weekend. She agreed without question, sensing the gravity of my request. Then I called Tom, who was staying with a friend for a few days. I asked him to come home as well, assuring him that everything was fine, but that we needed to have a family discussion. The following Saturday, Caitlin and Tom arrived home to find me waiting in the living room. Emily sat across from me, her face pale and drawn, her eyes hollow. The tension in the room was palpable as the kids entered, their expressions a mix of curiosity and concern. "Dad, what's going on?" Tom asked, looking from me to his mother and back again. Caitlin's face was tense, her eyes searching mine for some hint of what was to come. I took a deep breath, steeling myself for the difficult conversation. "We need to talk," I said, my voice steady despite the turmoil inside me. "Your mother and I are getting a divorce." Tom's eyes widened in shock, his mouth opening and closing as he struggled to process the news. Caitlin's expression hardened, a flash of anger crossing her face as she looked at Emily. "Why?" she demanded, though I knew she already had a good idea of the answer. I glanced at Emily, giving her a chance to speak, but she remained silent, her head bowed in shame. I turned back to the kids, my heart aching for them. "Your mother has been unfaithful," I said quietly. "She's been having an affair, and I can't stay in this marriage anymore." Tom's face crumpled, tears welling up in his eyes. "How could you, Mom?" he choked out, his voice thick with hurt and betrayal. "How could you do this to us?" Emily looked up then, her eyes filled with tears. "I'm so sorry," she whispered, her voice trembling. "I never meant to hurt any of you. I made a terrible mistake, and I'll regret it for the rest of my life." Caitlin's anger flared, her hands clenching into fists at her sides. "A mistake?" she spat, her voice shaking with fury. "You didn't just make a mistake, Mom. You destroyed our family." The room fell silent, the weight of their grief and anger hanging heavy in the air. I felt a deep sadness for the pain my children were experiencing, a pain I knew all too well. I reached out, pulling Tom into a hug as he sobbed against my shoulder, and Caitlin stood rigid, her eyes burning with unshed tears. In the days that followed, we began the difficult process of adjusting to our new reality. I moved back into the house, while Emily found a small apartment nearby. We agreed to share custody of the kids, though the transition was far from smooth. Caitlin and Tom struggled to come to terms with the changes, their emotions a volatile mix of anger, sadness, and confusion. Emily and I communicated only when necessary, our interactions polite but strained. The divorce proceedings moved forward, each step a painful reminder of what we had lost. But amidst the heartache and upheaval, I found a strange sense of closure. The life I had known was over, but a new chapter was beginning, one in which I would rebuild and redefine myself. As the months passed, I focused on creating a stable, loving environment for Caitlin and Tom. We talked often, navigating the challenges of our new family dynamic together. Slowly, we began to heal, finding strength in each other and in the routines we established. Emily's presence in our lives became more distant, a shadow of the past that we were gradually learning to live without. She continued to see the man she had been involved with, though their relationship remained a source of tension and pain for the kids. Through it all, I learned to forgive, though not to forget. I forgave Emily for her betrayal, recognizing that holding on to anger and resentment would only prolong my own suffering. I forgave myself for the times I had failed to see the cracks in our marriage, understanding that we had both played a role in its unraveling. In the end, I emerged from the wreckage of our relationship stronger, more resilient, and more determined than ever to build a future defined by honesty, integrity, and love. The journey had been painful, but it had also been transformative, leading me to a place of acceptance and peace. And as I looked to the future, I felt a renewed sense of hope, ready to embrace whatever lay ahead. The months following the divorce were a period of adjustment and introspection. Caitlin and Tom, though still grappling with the emotional fallout of their parents' separation, showed remarkable resilience. They threw themselves into their studies and extracurricular activities, finding solace and distraction in their own pursuits. I supported them wholeheartedly, attending their school events, cheering them on at sports games, and being there whenever they needed to talk. Emily's presence in our lives dwindled gradually. She maintained her own apartment and visited the kids regularly, but our interactions remained cordial yet distant. We communicated mainly through text messages or brief, awkward conversations during drop-offs and pickups. There were moments of tension, especially when discussing co-parenting decisions or financial matters, but we both tried to prioritize the well-being of Caitlin and Tom above all else. For me, the days became a routine of work, parenting duties, and personal reflection. I threw myself into my job, seeking refuge in the familiar challenges and responsibilities it provided. Outside of work, I dedicated time to reconnecting with old friends and pursuing hobbies I had neglected during my marriage. Running became a regular part of my routine, offering a physical outlet for the lingering emotions that still occasionally surfaced. One evening, while Caitlin was at a debate competition and Tom was at a friend's house, I found myself alone in the quiet of our house. The emptiness seemed to amplify the echoes of the past, stirring up memories of happier times and moments I wished I could forget. I sat in the living room, surrounded by the familiar furniture and decorations that had once filled our home with warmth and laughter. As I stared at the family photos on the walls, a pang of sadness gripped my heart. Each frame captured a moment in time: a vacation on the beach, Caitlin's graduation, Tom's soccer games, all now tinged with the bittersweetness of what had been lost. I reached for a photo album from the shelf, flipping through the pages slowly, allowing the memories to wash over me. In the midst of my reminiscing, my phone buzzed with a message notification. It was from Michael, my lawyer, reminding me of an upcoming meeting to finalize the divorce settlement. The practicalities of our separation had become routine, a series of legalities and agreements that needed to be navigated with a detached sense of obligation. The meeting with Michael the following week was businesslike yet somber. We reviewed the terms of the settlement, division of assets, custody arrangements, financial support, and I signed the necessary documents without hesitation. Emily's signature would follow, a formality that would mark the official end of our marriage in the eyes of the law. After the meeting, I drove home with a sense of closure settling over me. The divorce, while painful, had also freed me from the uncertainty and turmoil of a failing marriage. I could now focus fully on rebuilding my life and providing a stable environment for Caitlin and Tom as they navigated their own paths forward. Over the next few months, I began exploring new opportunities and possibilities. Professionally, I took on more challenging projects at work, seeking advancement and growth. Personally, I enrolled in a photography course, rediscovering a passion for capturing moments and telling stories through images. The creative outlet provided by photography became a source of joy and fulfillment, allowing me to express emotions and perspectives that were often difficult to put into words. As spring turned into summer, I decided to take Caitlin and Tom on a trip to Europe, a chance to create new memories and strengthen our bond as a family. We spent 2 weeks exploring historical landmarks, sampling local cuisines, and immersing ourselves in different cultures. The trip was a respite from the routine of daily life, a time for laughter and shared experiences that helped heal the wounds left by our family's upheaval. Throughout it all, Caitlin and Tom showed remarkable resilience and maturity. They adapted to our new family dynamic with grace, supporting each other and me as we navigated the challenges of our changed lives. Our bond grew stronger, forged through shared experiences and the mutual understanding that we were facing our futures together. As summer drew to a close, I reflected on how far we had come since that fateful day when Caitlin had shown me the photographs of Emily's betrayal. The pain of that discovery still lingered, but it had become a part of our shared history, a testament to our strength and resilience as individuals and as a family. Looking ahead, I felt a renewed sense of optimism and hope. Life had thrown us a curveball, but we had faced it head-on, emerging stronger and more united. Caitlin and Tom were growing into remarkable young adults, and I knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, we would face them together, with love, understanding, and unwavering support for each other. As autumn settled in, a sense of routine and stability returned to our lives. Caitlin had started her senior year of high school, focused on her studies and college applications. She was determined to excel, driven by ambitions to attend a prestigious university and pursue her passion for political science. I supported her enthusiastically, attending parent-teacher conferences, helping with college essays, and offering guidance wherever needed. Tom, now in 8th grade, threw himself into his academics and extracurricular activities with newfound vigor. He had always been passionate about sports, particularly soccer, and his dedication to the game was unwavering. I cheered him on from the sidelines at every match, proud of his tenacity and sportsmanship. Our weekends became a mix of family outings and quiet moments at home. We visited museums and attended local events, enjoying the cultural richness of our city. On Sundays, we often cooked meals together, Caitlin experimenting with new recipes she had found online while Tom eagerly volunteered to set the table. Emily's presence in our lives remained minimal. She attended Caitlin's school events and Tom's soccer games sporadically, her interactions with the kids polite but distant. There were moments of awkwardness and tension, especially during holidays or special occasions, but we navigated them with a sense of civility for the sake of the children. My own life settled into a rhythm of work, parenting, and personal pursuits. I continued to immerse myself in photography, spending weekends exploring new locations and capturing moments that spoke to me. Photography became a form of therapy, a way to process my emotions and find beauty in the world around me. One crisp Saturday morning in October, Caitlin asked if we could visit a local art gallery for an exhibit on contemporary photography. I readily agreed, eager to share my passion with her and Tom. The gallery was buzzing with visitors, the air filled with murmurs of admiration and critique as we wandered through the exhibits. Caitlin was particularly captivated by a series of portraits depicting individuals from diverse backgrounds, each photograph telling a unique story of resilience and identity. We spent hours discussing the techniques used by the photographers, the stories behind the images, and the impact of visual storytelling on society. As we emerged from the gallery into the late afternoon sunshine, I felt a deep sense of connection with Caitlin and Tom. Despite the challenges we had faced as a family, we had found moments of joy and understanding in unexpected places. Our bond had strengthened, forged through shared experiences and mutual support. That evening, as we gathered around the dinner table, Caitlin surprised me with a question that caught me off guard. "Dad," she began tentatively, her eyes searching mine, "do you think you'll ever date again?" The question hung in the air, laden with unspoken implications. I paused, considering my response carefully. I haven't thought much about it, to be honest, I admitted finally. Right now, my focus is on you and Tom, on making sure we're all okay. Caitlin nodded thoughtfully, her expression thoughtful. I just want you to be happy, Dad, she said softly. You deserve that. Tom chimed in then, his voice earnest. Yeah, Dad, he said with a grin. Maybe you should try online dating. I heard it's how a lot of people meet these days. We laughed together, the tension easing as we delved into a light-hearted discussion about the intricacies of modern dating. The conversation shifted seamlessly to plans for Thanksgiving and Caitlin's upcoming college visits, the warmth of our shared laughter filling the room. As the weeks passed, Caitlin and Tom continued to thrive, their resilience and optimism inspiring me daily. I found myself contemplating Caitlin's question more seriously, pondering the possibility of opening my heart to new beginnings. Emily remained on the periphery of our lives, a reminder of the past, but no longer the focal point of our present. On a crisp November afternoon, as I walked through Central Park, camera in hand, I paused to capture the vibrant hues of autumn leaves against the backdrop of the city skyline. The park was alive with activity, couples strolling hand in hand, children playing in piles of fallen leaves, artists sketching the scene before them. I took a deep breath, inhaling the cool, crisp air. For the first time in a long while, I felt a sense of peace and contentment. Life had thrown us a curveball, but we had faced it head-on, emerging stronger and more united as a family. And as I looked to the future, I felt a renewed sense of hope, ready to embrace whatever lay ahead with courage and an open heart. I threw myself into work, finding solace and purpose in the challenges it presented. The photography course I had enrolled in became a weekly sanctuary, a place where I could immerse myself in creativity and expression. Each click of the camera shutter felt like a step forward, a tangible reminder that life was gradually moving on. Caitlin's acceptance letters from universities started arriving in early spring, bringing a mix of excitement and nostalgia. She had worked tirelessly on her applications, pouring her heart into essays that reflected her aspirations and dreams. As we celebrated each acceptance together, I couldn't help but marvel at her resilience and determination. Tom, too, was thriving. His soccer team had made it to the city championships, and I watched proudly from the sidelines as he played with passion and skill. The victories on the field seemed to mirror his growing confidence off it, a testament to his ability to adapt and persevere. Emily remained a distant figure in our lives. She attended Caitlin's graduation ceremony quietly, her presence a reminder of the fractured family we had become. The ceremony itself was a mix of joy and melancholy, a milestone in Caitlin's life that underscored the changes our family had undergone. After the graduation, Caitlin approached me with a request that took me by surprise. Dad, she began hesitantly, I know this might sound strange, but would you consider inviting Mom to my graduation party? I blinked in surprise, taken aback by her request. After a moment of reflection, I nodded slowly. If that's what you want, Caitlin, I said softly. I'll talk to your mom and see if she'd like to come. Emily's response to my invitation was guarded but accepting. She arrived at the party with a small gift for Caitlin, a framed photograph of the two of them together from years ago. I watched from a distance as mother and daughter shared a brief, awkward conversation, their words tinged with the weight of unspoken apologies and regrets. As the evening wore on, I found myself reflecting on the complexities of forgiveness and healing. Caitlin's gesture had reminded me that while our family had been fractured, the bonds of love and shared history remained. It was a poignant reminder that despite the pain of the past, there was still room for compassion and reconciliation. In the weeks that followed, Caitlin prepared to leave for college, her excitement tempered by the bitter sweetness of saying goodbye. We spent weekends packing boxes, shopping for dorm essentials, and sharing quiet moments together. The house felt emptier with each box that was packed, a tangible reminder of the impending changes in our lives. On the day of Caitlin's departure, emotions ran high as we hugged her tightly at the airport gate. Tom fought back tears, his voice wavering as he wished his sister well. I watched Caitlin board the plane with a mixture of pride and sadness, knowing that this moment marked the beginning of a new chapter for all of us. Back home, Tom and I settled into a new routine, a quieter, more introspective rhythm without Caitlin's laughter and energy filling the house. We attended Tom's soccer games together, cheered on by friends and neighbors who had become like extended family. The community support was a source of comfort during the transitional period. As autumn approached once again, I found myself reflecting on the journey we had taken as a family. The pain and upheaval of the past years had tested our resilience and strength, but they had also forged deeper bonds and taught us valuable lessons about love, forgiveness, and the importance of cherishing each moment. With Tom entering high school, I knew that new challenges and opportunities awaited us. The future was uncertain, yet filled with possibilities. I had learned to embrace life's twists and turns with courage and grace, knowing that, as long as we faced them together, we would emerge stronger and more united. Standing in our backyard one crisp October evening, camera in hand, I captured the vibrant hues of autumn leaves against the backdrop of the setting sun. The beauty of the scene reminded me that life was a tapestry of moments, some painful, some joyful, but all woven together to create a journey worth living. As I looked ahead, I felt a sense of peace settle over me. Our family had weathered the storm, and though scars remained, they were a testament to our resilience and the love that bound us together. And as the seasons changed once more, I knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, we would face them with courage, compassion, and a steadfast belief in the power of love to heal and transform. The arrival of winter brought with it a sense of quiet introspection. Tom had settled into his freshman year of high school, navigating the challenges of academics and extracurricular activities with determination. He had inherited his mother's talent for art, spending hours sketching in his room or experimenting with paints in the basement. I encouraged his creativity, hanging his artwork proudly on our refrigerator and offering gentle praise for his burgeoning talent. The holidays approached with a mix of anticipation and nostalgia. Caitlin returned home from college, her presence filling the house with warmth and laughter once again. We decorated the Christmas tree together, reminiscing about past holidays and creating new memories to cherish. Emily joined us for a holiday dinner, the atmosphere surprisingly relaxed as we exchanged stories and shared laughter over a meal cooked by Caitlin and me. As the year drew to a close, I found myself reflecting on the journey our family had taken over the past few years. The pain of betrayal and divorce had given way to moments of healing and reconciliation, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Caitlin's maturity and Tom's optimism had been constant sources of inspiration, reminding me that despite life's challenges, there was always hope for a brighter future. In January, I received an unexpected invitation to attend a photography exhibition in the city. The exhibit featured works by local artists, each photograph telling a story of resilience and renewal. Inspired by the theme, I submitted a few of my own photographs for consideration, hoping to share my perspective on life's journey through visual storytelling. To my surprise and delight, one of my photographs, a candid shot of Caitlin and Tom laughing together in our backyard, was selected for the exhibition. The opening night was a whirlwind of excitement and nervous anticipation as I stood beside my framed photograph, surrounded by fellow artists and art enthusiasts. Caitlin and Tom beamed with pride, their support a reassuring presence as I spoke about the inspiration behind the photograph. The exhibition marked a turning point in my journey as a photographer. Encouraged by the positive reception to my work, I began exploring opportunities to showcase my photographs in other galleries and exhibitions. Photography became more than just a hobby. It became a means of expressing emotions and perspectives that words often failed to capture. Meanwhile, Caitlin thrived in college, finding her niche in student government and community service projects. She visited home regularly, sharing stories of her adventures and academic achievements. Her visits were eagerly anticipated by Tom, who looked up to his sister with admiration and affection. Emily's presence in our lives remained sporadic but amicable. She attended family gatherings and school events when invited. Her interactions with Caitlin and Tom marked by a quiet understanding and mutual respect. We had learned to coexist as a family in a new and unfamiliar way, the scars of the past gradually fading into the background as we focused on building a future defined by forgiveness and acceptance. As spring approached, I found myself drawn to the outdoors once again, camera in hand. I spent weekends photographing the blooming cherry blossoms in Central Park, capturing the fleeting beauty of nature in vibrant shades of pink and white. Each photograph was a testament to the transient nature of life, a reminder to cherish the present moment and embrace the beauty that surrounded me. One warm April afternoon, I received a call from Caitlin that would change the course of our family's journey once again. She had met someone special, a fellow student named Ryan, who shared her passion for social justice and advocacy. Caitlin's voice was filled with excitement and happiness as she spoke about Ryan, his kindness, and their shared dreams for the future. I listened with a mixture of joy and nostalgia, reminiscing about my own experiences of falling in love and navigating the complexities of relationships. Caitlin's happiness was infectious, filling me with a renewed sense of hope and optimism for her future. Tom, too, welcomed Ryan warmly when he visited, the three of them forming a bond that felt both familiar and new. As Caitlin and Ryan's relationship blossomed, Emily and I found ourselves navigating unfamiliar territory once again. We discussed the dynamics of introducing new partners into our children's lives, mindful of the impact it could have on their emotions and sense of stability. Emily's support during this transition was invaluable, her insights and perspective helping to ease the inevitable challenges that arose. By summer, Caitlin and Ryan had made plans to move in together after graduation. Their excitement was palpable as they talked about finding an apartment and envisioning their life together. I supported Caitlin's decision wholeheartedly, knowing that she had found a partner who cherished her and shared her values. Tom, now a sophomore in high school, continued to excel academically and athletically. His sketches and paintings had gained recognition in school art exhibitions, earning praise from teachers and classmates alike. I encouraged his budding talent, offering guidance and encouragement as he explored different mediums and techniques. As I looked at my children, Caitlin forging her own path with confidence and determination, and Tom embracing his creativity and resilience, I felt a profound sense of gratitude. Our family had endured hardships and challenges, but we had emerged stronger and more united than ever. The scars of the past had faded into memories, replaced by a sense of hope and anticipation for the future. Standing on the shore of a lake one evening, camera in hand, I captured the reflection of a vibrant sunset on the water's surface. The scene was a metaphor for our family's journey, a reflection of the beauty and resilience that had emerged from the depths of adversity. As I watched the sun dip below the horizon, casting hues of orange and gold across the sky, I felt a sense of peace settle over me. Our journey was far from over, but as I looked ahead, I knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, we would face them together, with love, courage, and an unwavering belief in the power of forgiveness and redemption. I watched the sun rise over the horizon, casting a warm glow across the tranquil waters of the lake. It was early morning, the air crisp and invigorating. As I stood there, camera in hand, I reflected on the journey our family had taken over the years, the highs and lows, the moments of joy and sorrow, and the resilience that had carried us through it all. Caitlin had graduated from college with honors, her commencement ceremony a proud moment for our family. She had excelled academically and become deeply involved in campus activities, advocating for social justice causes and leading initiatives to promote diversity and inclusion. Ryan, her steadfast partner, had been by her side throughout her journey, offering unwavering support and encouragement. Their decision to move in together after graduation had been met with mixed emotions. Pride in Caitlin's independence and happiness, tinged with a hint of nostalgia for the years that had passed so quickly. Emily and I had attended their apartment warming party, surrounded by friends and well-wishers who toasted Caitlin and Ryan's future with laughter and cheer. Tom had embraced his artistic talents with passion and dedication. His sketches and paintings had garnered attention not only in school, but also in local art exhibitions. I attended his showcases proudly, marveling at his ability to capture emotions and stories with each brushstroke. He had grown into a confident young man, his resilience and creativity shining brightly in everything he pursued. Our family dynamic had evolved over the years, shaped by forgiveness, understanding, and a shared commitment to moving forward. Emily had found fulfillment in her career as a counselor, working with families and individuals facing challenges similar to our own. Her empathy and insight had helped countless clients navigate their own paths to healing and reconciliation. As for me, photography had become more than a hobby. It had become a way of life, a means of capturing moments of beauty and truth in a world that often seemed chaotic and uncertain. I had continued to explore new techniques and styles, pushing the boundaries of my creativity and finding inspiration in unexpected places. One evening, As I reviewed some of my recent photographs, I came across a series of images that seemed to encapsulate the essence of our family's journey. There was a photo of Caitlin and Ryan laughing together on their graduation day, their joy palpable. Another captured Tom lost in concentration as he worked on a particularly intricate painting in his makeshift studio. The photographs told a story of resilience and renewal, of love and forgiveness overcoming adversity. They were a testament to the strength of our family bond and the hope that had carried us through even the darkest moments. I decided to compile the images into a photo book, a visual narrative of our journey over the years. The process of creating the photo book became a labor of love, a tribute to the milestones and memories that had shaped our lives. I spent hours selecting and arranging the photographs, carefully curating each page to capture the essence of our shared experiences. The photo book would serve as a keepsake, a tangible reminder of how far we had come as a family. As I flipped through the finished product, I felt a surge of pride and gratitude. Our journey had been marked by challenges and uncertainties, but we had faced them together, emerging stronger and more united. The scars of the past had healed, replaced by a deep sense of appreciation for the blessings in our lives. Caitlin and Ryan's wedding was a joyous celebration of love and commitment, held in a picturesque garden surrounded by family and friends. I walked Caitlin down the aisle with a mixture of pride and emotion, knowing that she had found a partner who cherished and supported her unconditionally. Emily and I exchanged a knowing glance during the ceremony, a silent acknowledgement of the journey that had brought us to this moment of happiness and fulfillment. Tom's artwork continued to garner praise and recognition, his talent blossoming with each new piece he created. He had found his passion and pursued it with unwavering dedication, his confidence growing alongside his artistic skills. I encouraged his aspirations, knowing that his future held endless possibilities. As the years passed, our family continued to evolve and grow. Caitlin and Ryan welcomed a son, bringing new joy and laughter into our lives. Tom pursued his dreams of becoming a professional artist, his paintings exhibited in galleries across the country. Emily and I embraced the roles of grandparents with love and enthusiasm, cherishing each moment spent with our grandson. Reflecting on the journey we had taken together, I marveled at the resilience of the human spirit and the power of love to heal and transform. Our family's story was a testament to the strength that comes from forgiveness, understanding, and a shared commitment to building a future filled with hope and possibility. Standing on the shore of the lake, I captured one last photograph, a panoramic view of the sunset painting the sky in hues of pink and orange. It was a fitting conclusion to our family's journey, a reminder that even in the midst of life's challenges, there is beauty to be found, and moments of grace that illuminate our path forward. As I lowered my camera, a sense of peace settled over me. Our family had weathered the storms of the past and emerged stronger and more resilient. The journey had been filled with twists and turns, but through it all, we had found our way back to each other, guided by love, forgiveness, and the enduring bond that held us together. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow across the water, I felt a profound sense of gratitude for the blessings in my life. Our story was not just one of survival, but of thriving, a testament to the power of resilience and the transformative journey of forgiveness and redemption. And as I turned to walk back towards our home, surrounded by the beauty of nature and the warmth of my family's love, I knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, we would face them together, with courage, compassion, and an unwavering belief in the power of love to light our way. I woke up to the sound of birds chirping outside my window, a gentle reminder that spring had arrived once again. It had been several years since Caitlin's wedding, and our family had settled into a rhythm of joy and contentment. Tom had graduated from high school with honors, his artistic talents earning him a scholarship to a prestigious art school. I attended his graduation ceremony with pride, marveling at how far he had come since those early days of uncertainty and upheaval. Caitlin and Ryan had welcomed a daughter, bringing new light and laughter into our lives. Becoming grandparents had been a transformative experience for Emily and me, a chance to impart wisdom and love to the next generation. Our weekends were filled with family gatherings and outings to the park, watching our grandchildren play with boundless energy and curiosity. Emily had retired from her counseling career, choosing to focus on hobbies and volunteer work in our community. Her compassion and empathy continued to inspire those around her, and she remained an integral part of our family support network. We spent quiet evenings together, reminiscing about the challenges we had faced and the blessings we had received. As for me, photography remained a constant source of joy and creativity. I had expanded my portfolio to include portraits and landscapes, capturing the beauty of nature and the nuances of human emotion. My photographs were featured in local exhibitions and publications, bringing a sense of fulfillment and purpose to my life. One summer afternoon, as I sat in my backyard reviewing a collection of recent photographs, a familiar envelope arrived in the mail. It was addressed to me in Caitlin's handwriting, a letter that would once again change the course of our family's journey. In her letter, Caitlin expressed her desire for our family to come together for a reunion, a chance to celebrate our shared milestones and reconnect with each other. She proposed hosting the reunion at a rented cabin by the lake, a place filled with fond memories from our childhood vacations. I shared the letter with Emily and Tom over dinner that evening, their reactions a mix of surprise and excitement. Tom grinned broadly, eager to see his sister and her family, while Emily nodded thoughtfully, already making plans for the trip. The reunion weekend arrived with a sense of anticipation and nostalgia. Caitlin and Ryan greeted us warmly as we arrived at the cabin, the air filled with laughter and hugs as we reunited after months apart. Our grandchildren, wide-eyed and curious, explored the surroundings with boundless energy, their laughter echoing through the trees. We spent the weekend reminiscing about old times and creating new memories together. We took walks by the lake, sharing stories of our childhood adventures and reflecting on how far we had come as a family. In the evenings, we gathered around a crackling fire, roasting marshmallows and sharing heartfelt conversations under the starlit sky. During one quiet moment by the lake, Caitlin and I found ourselves reflecting on the journey that had brought us to this place of peace and unity. She spoke about her gratitude for our family's resilience and love, acknowledging the challenges we had faced and the bonds that had grown stronger as a result. "I'm so thankful for everything you've taught me, Dad," Caitlin said softly, her eyes shimmering with emotion. "You've shown me what it means to forgive and to never give up on the people you love." I squeezed her hand affectionately, overcome with pride and love for the remarkable woman she had become. "You and Tom have taught me just as much," I replied sincerely. "Our journey hasn't always been easy, but it's been worth every moment." As we watched the sun set over the lake, casting a golden glow across the water, I felt a profound sense of peace settle over me. Our family had weathered storms and celebrated triumphs, guided by love and strengthened by forgiveness. The scars of the past had faded into memories, replaced by a deep appreciation for the resilience and unity that defined us. The reunion weekend drew to a close with promises to stay in touch more regularly and to continue creating memories together. As we packed our belongings and said our goodbyes, I knew that our family's journey was far from over. We had faced adversity with courage, embraced joy with gratitude, and forged bonds that would withstand the test of time. Driving home with Emily and Tom by my side, I glanced in the rearview mirror at the cabin disappearing from view. The lake shimmered in the distance, a reminder of the moments of laughter and reflection we had shared as a family. And as we returned to our daily lives, I carried with me a renewed sense of hope and optimism for the future, a future shaped by love, resilience, and the enduring power of family. I woke up to the soft glow of dawn filtering through the curtains, casting a warm light across the room. It was a quiet Saturday morning, the kind that invites reflection and gratitude. As I lay in bed, memories of our recent family reunion danced through my mind, a tapestry of laughter, storytelling, and moments of profound connection. Since returning from the reunion at the lake, our family had settled back into our routines with a renewed sense of closeness. Caitlin and Ryan visited us regularly, bringing their children who filled our home with laughter and youthful energy. Emily had taken up gardening as a new hobby, transforming our backyard into a colorful oasis of flowers and greenery. Tom had started his sophomore year at art school with enthusiasm, immersing himself in classes that challenged and inspired him. His talent continued to blossom, earning him praise from professors and fellow students alike. I attended his art exhibitions with pride, marveling at the depth and emotion conveyed in each of his creations. As for me, photography remained a cherished passion. I had begun documenting everyday moments, the morning light streaming through the kitchen window, Emily tending to her garden, and Tom lost in concentration as he sketched in his studio. Each photograph captured a fragment of our lives, a testament to the beauty found in the ordinary. One afternoon, while organizing old family albums in the attic, I stumbled upon a box of letters tucked away in a dusty corner. Curiosity piqued. I opened the box and sifted through its contents. Letters exchanged between Emily and me during our courtship, postcards from family vacations, and notes written by Caitlin and Tom during their childhood. The letters evoked memories long forgotten, the excitement of young love, the challenges of parenthood, and the resilience that had carried us through difficult times. I spent hours reading and rereading each letter, transported back in time to moments of joy, sorrow, and everything in between. One letter in particular caught my eye, a faded envelope addressed to me in Caitlin's handwriting. Inside was a handwritten note, penned with a sincerity that touched my heart. "Dear Dad," the note began, "I wanted to thank you for everything you've done for our family. You've shown us what it means to love unconditionally and to never lose hope, even when life throws us curveballs. I'm so grateful to call you my dad, and I hope you know how much I love you." Tears welled up in my eyes as I read Caitlin's words, feeling a swell of pride and love for the remarkable woman she had become. Her heartfelt gratitude was a poignant reminder of the impact a parent's love and guidance can have on a child's life. That evening, I shared Caitlin's letter with Emily and Tom over dinner. The room was filled with a quiet reverence as we reflected on our journey as a family. The highs and lows, the laughter and tears, and the unwavering bond that had carried us through it all. "I'm so proud of Caitlin," Emily said softly, her voice tinged with emotion. "She's grown into such a strong and compassionate woman." Tom nodded thoughtfully, a smile playing on his lips. "Yeah, she's amazing. And so are you, Dad," he added, meeting my gaze with warmth and admiration. I felt a lump in my throat, overcome with gratitude for the love and support of my family. We had faced challenges that had tested our strength and resilience, but we had emerged stronger and more united than ever. In the weeks that followed, I continued to cherish Caitlin's letter, keeping it tucked away in a drawer where I could easily find it. It served as a reminder of the enduring bond between a parent and child, and the profound impact of love and forgiveness in shaping our lives. As summer approached, our family planned another reunion at the lake, a chance to reconnect, reminisce, and create new memories together. Caitlin and Ryan eagerly made arrangements, while Tom counted down the days until he could escape the city and immerse himself in the tranquility of the countryside. The reunion weekend arrived with a sense of anticipation and joy. We gathered at the familiar cabin by the lake, greeted by the sight of Caitlin and Ryan's children running excitedly towards us. The air was filled with laughter and chatter as we settled in, the lake shimmering in the afternoon sun. We spent the weekend swimming, hiking along wooded trails, and sharing meals around a rustic wooden table. In the evenings, we gathered around a crackling fire, roasting marshmallows and sharing stories beneath a canopy of stars. It felt like a continuation of the reunion from years before, a celebration of our journey as a family and the love that bound us together. On the final evening of the reunion, as we sat by the lake watching the sunset, Caitlin surprised us with a heartfelt toast. She raised her glass, her eyes shining with emotion as she spoke. "To Dad," she began, her voice steady yet filled with warmth. "Thank you for teaching us the true meaning of family, of love, forgiveness, and unwavering support. Our journey hasn't always been easy, but because of you, it's been filled with moments of grace and beauty. Here's to many more memories together." We clinked our glasses together, the sound echoing softly across the water. Tears glistened in Emily's eyes as she reached for my hand, her touch a silent affirmation of the love that had sustained us through the years. As I looked around at my family gathered by the lake, Caitlin and Ryan, Tom with his sketchbook, Emily with her gentle smile, I felt a deep sense of peace settle over me. Our journey had been marked by challenges and triumphs, laughter and tears, but through it all, we had found our way back to each other. And as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow across the water, I knew that our family's story was far from over. We would continue to navigate life's twists and turns with courage and grace, guided by the enduring bond of love that had carried us through every chapter of our journey. I woke up to the gentle patter of rain against the window, a soothing sound that filled the room with a sense of calm. It was early autumn, and the changing seasons brought with them a quiet introspection. Our family had returned home from the reunion at the lake with hearts full of cherished memories and a renewed appreciation for the bond that held us together. Tom had settled into his third year at art school with a sense of purpose and determination. His paintings had evolved into powerful reflections of his inner world, exploring themes of identity, resilience, and the beauty found in imperfection. I attended his gallery exhibitions whenever possible, marveling at the depth and emotion conveyed in each brushstroke. Caitlin and Ryan juggled the responsibilities of parenthood with grace and humor. Their children, a whirlwind of energy and curiosity, brought joy and laughter into our lives during their frequent visits. We celebrated birthdays and holidays together, creating traditions that bridged generations and strengthened our family ties. Emily had immersed herself in volunteer work at a local shelter, offering support and guidance to families facing adversity. Her compassion and empathy continued to inspire those around her, and she found fulfillment in making a difference in the lives of others. I admired her resilience and unwavering commitment to helping those in need. As for me, photography remained a steadfast companion, a means of capturing moments of beauty and truth in a world that often seemed chaotic and unpredictable. I'd started a blog to share my photographs and reflections on life, connecting with a community of fellow artists and enthusiasts who appreciated the power of visual storytelling. One evening, while scrolling through notifications on my blog, an email caught my attention. It was from a curator at a renowned gallery in the city, an invitation to showcase my photography in a group exhibition focused on themes of resilience and transformation. The opportunity was both thrilling and daunting, a chance to share my perspective on life's journey with a larger audience. I accepted the invitation with gratitude and a hint of nervous excitement. Over the following weeks, I immersed myself in selecting and preparing a collection of photographs that captured the essence of our family's journey, the moments of joy, the challenges overcome, and the enduring bonds of love and forgiveness. The night of the exhibition opening arrived with a flurry of anticipation. I stood among fellow artists and art enthusiasts, my photographs displayed on the gallery walls as testaments to the resilience of the human spirit. Friends and family gathered around, offering words of encouragement and admiration for the images that told our family's story. Caitlin and Ryan arrived with their children, their faces beaming with pride and excitement. Tom stood by my side, his presence a source of quiet support and shared accomplishment. Emily greeted guests with her trademark warmth, her pride in my achievements palpable, as she shared stories of our family's journey with visitors to the exhibition. As I spoke about the inspiration behind each photograph, I felt a deep sense of fulfillment and gratitude. The images spoke of moments both ordinary and extraordinary, a reflection of the beauty found in everyday life and the resilience that had carried us through difficult times. I shared anecdotes of family gatherings, quiet moments of reflection, and the bonds of love that had sustained us through it all. The exhibition was a success, drawing praise for its honesty and emotional depth. Visitors lingered by my photographs, sharing their own stories of resilience and transformation, inspired by the images on display. It was a humbling experience to see how art could touch hearts and provoke introspection, bridging differences and fostering empathy. In the weeks that followed, I received messages and emails from people who had visited the exhibition, expressing gratitude for the opportunity to connect with my work. Some shared their own experiences of overcoming adversity, finding solace and inspiration in the visual narratives I had created. One afternoon, as I sat in my studio processing feedback from the exhibition, Caitlin called with exciting news. She and Ryan had decided to move back to our hometown, a decision driven by a desire to be closer to family and to offer their children a sense of roots and community. Their decision filled me with joy and anticipation, a chance to deepen our family bonds and create new memories together. As Caitlin and Ryan settled into their new home, our family gatherings became more frequent and vibrant. We celebrated holidays, birthdays, and milestones with laughter and love, cherishing each moment spent together. The grandchildren grew older, their personalities blossoming under the loving guidance of their parents and grandparents. Tom graduated from art school with honors, his talent recognized by peers and professors alike. He embarked on a career as a professional artist, his paintings exhibited in galleries across the country. I watched with pride as he pursued his passion with determination, his creativity a testament to the resilience and perseverance that defined our family's journey. Emily continued her volunteer work with renewed vigor, her impact on the community growing with each passing year. She found fulfillment in helping others navigate life's challenges, offering support and guidance to those in need. Her dedication inspired me daily, reminding me of the power of compassion and empathy in making a difference in the world. As for me, I continued to photograph moments of beauty and truth, capturing the essence of life's journey with each click of the shutter. I expanded my blog to include essays and reflections on art, family, and the transformative power of resilience. The response was overwhelmingly positive, with readers sharing their own stories of strength and perseverance in the face of adversity. One evening, while flipping through a photo album filled with memories from the reunion at the lake, I came across Caitlin's letter once again. Her words resonated deeply, reminding me of the profound impact a parent's love and guidance can have on a child's life. I read the letter aloud to Emily and Tom, my voice steady yet filled with emotion. "I'm so grateful for everything you've taught me, Dad," I said, my eyes misting with tears. "You've shown me what it means to be resilient and to never lose hope." Emily reached for my hand, her touch a silent affirmation of the love that had sustained us through the years. Tom nodded thoughtfully, a smile tugging at the corners of his mouth. "Yeah, you've taught us all so much," he said softly. "We wouldn't be who we are without you." As I looked at my family gathered around me, Caitlin and Ryan with their children, Tom with his sketchbook, Emily with her quiet strength, I felt a deep sense of gratitude and pride. Our journey had been marked by challenges and triumphs, laughter and tears, but through it all, we had found our way back to each other. And as I closed the photo album and set it aside, I knew that our family's story was far from over. We would continue to navigate life's twists and turns with courage and grace, guided by the enduring bond of love and the transformative power of resilience. I woke up to the sound of a gentle spring rain tapping against the window pane, a soothing rhythm that seemed to echo the tranquility of our home. It had been nearly a year since Caitlin and Ryan had moved back to our hometown, and their presence had infused our lives with a renewed sense of closeness and joy. Our family gatherings had become a cherished tradition, marked by laughter, lively conversations, and the comforting aroma of Emily's home-cooked meals. Caitlin and Ryan's children, now a bit older and wiser, delighted us with their curiosity and boundless energy. They had grown fond of exploring our backyard garden, their laughter mingling with the chirping of birds as they chased butterflies among Emily's vibrant flower beds. Tom had continued to flourish in his career as an artist, his paintings evolving into powerful reflections of his inner journey. He had recently completed a series exploring themes of resilience and transformation, inspired by our family's experiences and the beauty found in life's everyday moments. His work had garnered attention from art critics and collectors, further validating his talent and dedication. As for me, photography remained a steadfast passion. I had embraced digital storytelling as a new medium, creating multimedia projects that combined images, audio recordings, and written narratives to explore themes of family, love, and the passage of time. My latest project focused on documenting the changing seasons in our hometown, a visual tribute to the cycles of nature and the enduring spirit of community. One crisp autumn afternoon, while reviewing photographs for my latest project, I received an unexpected phone call from Caitlin. Her voice, tinged with excitement, carried through the line as she shared news that would once again reshape our family's journey. "Dad," Caitlin began, her words coming in a rush of enthusiasm, "Ryan and I have been talking, and we've decided to renew our wedding vows." I paused, surprised yet deeply touched by their decision. Renewing their vows seemed like a poignant gesture, a celebration of their enduring love and commitment to each other, but also a testament to the strength and resilience that had defined their journey as a couple. "That's wonderful news, Caitlin," I replied warmly, a smile spreading across my face. "Your mom and I would be honored to be a part of it." Over the following weeks, Caitlin and Ryan began making plans for the vow renewal ceremony, a small, intimate gathering that would take place in our backyard garden. They enlisted Tom's help in designing invitations and decorations, his artistic flair adding a touch of creativity to the preparations. Emily and I offered our support, helping with logistical details and ensuring that everything was in place for the special day. As the date drew nearer, our home buzzed with anticipation and excitement, a tangible sense of love and unity filling the air. On the day of the ceremony, the sun shone brightly overhead, casting a warm glow over our backyard garden. We had transformed the space into a picturesque setting, with rows of chairs arranged facing a flower-adorned arch where Caitlin and Ryan would exchange their vows. Family and close friends gathered under the canopy of trees, their faces beaming with happiness and anticipation. Emily stood by my side, her hand in mine, as we watched Caitlin, radiant in a flowing gown, make her way down the aisle towards Ryan, who stood waiting with a look of adoration on his face. The ceremony was a heartfelt celebration of love and commitment. Caitlin and Ryan spoke words of gratitude and devotion, their voices steady yet filled with emotion. They exchanged rings, a symbol of their enduring bond, and sealed their vows with a tender kiss, surrounded by the love and support of their loved ones. As the sun began to set, casting a golden hue across the garden, we gathered for a festive dinner under a canopy of twinkling lights. Laughter and heartfelt toasts filled the air, mingling with the scent of freshly cut flowers and the sounds of soft music playing in the background. During a quiet moment after dinner, Caitlin approached me with a small envelope in her hand, a gesture that mirrored a moment from years ago when she had sent me photos revealing her mother's infidelity. This time, however, it held something different. "Dad," Caitlin began softly, her eyes shimmering with unshed tears. "I wanted to give you something." I took the envelope from her, feeling a mix of curiosity and warmth. Inside was a handwritten letter, a heartfelt expression of gratitude and love, acknowledging the challenges we had faced as a family and the unwavering support and guidance I had provided throughout the years. "I wouldn't be who I am today without you," Caitlin continued, her voice wavering slightly. "You've shown me what it means to be strong and resilient, to love deeply and forgive wholeheartedly. I am so grateful to call you my dad." Tears welled up in my eyes as I read Caitlin's words, feeling a swell of pride and love for the remarkable woman she had become. Her heartfelt gratitude was a poignant reminder of the profound impact a parent's love and guidance can have on a child's life. "Thank you, Caitlin," I said softly, enveloping her in a warm embrace. "You and your brother have given me more joy and pride than I could ever express." As Caitlin rejoined the festivities, I tucked her letter into my pocket, a treasure to be cherished alongside the memories of this beautiful day. The evening continued with dancing and laughter, a celebration of love, resilience, and the enduring bonds that held our family together. In the weeks that followed, life settled back into its familiar rhythm, a rhythm enriched by the memories of Caitlin and Ryan's vow renewal ceremony and the reaffirmation of our family's love and unity. Tom continued to create art that touched hearts and inspired minds, while Emily's volunteer work brought comfort and support to those in need. As for me, I continued to document life's moments through my photography, finding beauty and meaning in the everyday. Each click of the shutter captured a fragment of our family's journey, a journey marked by challenges and triumphs, laughter and tears, but above all, bound together by the enduring power of love. And as I looked ahead to the future, I knew that our family's story was far from over. We would continue to navigate life's joys and sorrows with courage and grace, guided by the lessons of resilience and forgiveness that had shaped us into the loving and resilient family we had become. I woke up to the soft glow of dawn filtering through the curtains, casting a warm light across the room. It was a quiet Saturday morning, the kind that invites reflection and gratitude. As I lay in bed, memories of our recent family reunion danced through my mind, a tapestry of laughter, storytelling, and moments of profound connection. Since returning from the reunion at the lake, our family had settled back into our routines with a renewed sense of closeness. Caitlin and Ryan visited us regularly, bringing their children who filled our home with laughter and youthful energy. Emily had taken up gardening as a new hobby, transforming our backyard into a colorful oasis of flowers and greenery. Tom had started his sophomore year at art school with enthusiasm, immersing himself in classes that challenged and inspired him. His talent continued to blossom, earning him praise from professors and fellow students alike. I attended his art exhibitions with pride, marveling at the depth and emotion conveyed in each of his creations. As for me, photography remained a cherished passion. I had begun documenting everyday moments, the morning light streaming through the kitchen window, Emily tending to her garden, and Tom lost in concentration as he sketched in his studio. Each photograph captured a fragment of our lives, a testament to the beauty found in the ordinary. One afternoon, while organizing old family albums in the attic, I stumbled upon a box of letters tucked away in a dusty corner. Curiosity piqued. I opened the box and sifted through its contents. Letters exchanged between Emily and me during our courtship, postcards from family vacations, and notes written by Caitlin and Tom during their childhood. The letters evoked memories long forgotten, the excitement of young love, the challenges of parenthood, and the resilience that had carried us through difficult times. I spent hours reading and rereading each letter, transported back in time to moments of joy, sorrow, and everything in between. One letter, in particular, caught my eye. A faded envelope addressed to me in Caitlin's handwriting. Inside was a handwritten note, penned with a sincerity that touched my heart. "Dear Dad," the note began, "I wanted to thank you for everything you've done for our family. You've shown us what it means to love unconditionally and to never lose hope, even when life throws us curveballs. I am so grateful to call you my dad, and I hope you know how much I love you." Tears welled up in my eyes as I read Caitlin's words, feeling a swell of pride and love for the remarkable woman she had become. Her heartfelt gratitude was a poignant reminder of the impact a parent's love and guidance can have on a child's life. That evening, I shared Caitlin's letter with Emily and Tom over dinner. The room was filled with a quiet reverence as we reflected on our journey as a family, the highs and lows, the laughter and tears, and the unwavering bond that had carried us through it all. "I'm so proud of Caitlin," Emily said softly, her voice tinged with emotion. "She's grown into such a strong and compassionate woman." Tom nodded thoughtfully, a smile playing on his lips. "Yeah, she's amazing. And so are you, Dad," he added, meeting my gaze with warmth and admiration. I felt a lump in my throat, overcome with gratitude for the love and support of my family. We had faced challenges that had tested our strength and resilience, but we had emerged stronger and more united than ever. In the weeks that followed, I continued to cherish Caitlin's letter, keeping it tucked away in a drawer where I could easily find it. It served as a reminder of the enduring bond between a parent and child and the profound impact of love and forgiveness in shaping our lives. As summer approached, our family planned another reunion at the lake, a chance to reconnect, reminisce, and create new memories together. Caitlin and Ryan eagerly made arrangements, while Tom counted down the days until he could escape the city and immerse himself in the tranquility of the countryside. The reunion weekend arrived with a sense of anticipation and joy. We gathered at the familiar cabin by the lake, greeted by the sight of Caitlin and Ryan's children running excitedly towards us. The air was filled with laughter and chatter as we settled in, the lake shimmering in the afternoon sun. We spent the weekend swimming, hiking along wooded trails, and sharing meals around a rustic wooden table. In the evenings, we gathered around a crackling fire, roasting marshmallows and sharing stories beneath a canopy of stars. It felt like a continuation of the reunion from years before, a celebration of our journey as a family and the love that bound us together. On the final evening of the reunion, as we sat by the lake watching the sunset, Caitlin surprised us with a heartfelt toast. She raised her glass, her eyes shining with emotion as she spoke. "To Dad," she began, her voice steady yet filled with warmth. "Thank you for teaching us the true meaning of family, of love, forgiveness, and unwavering support. Our journey hasn't always been easy, but because of you, it's been filled with moments of grace and beauty. Here's to many more memories together." We clinked our glasses together, the sound echoing softly across the water. Tears glistened in Emily's eyes as she reached for my hand, her touch a silent affirmation of the love that had sustained us through the years. As I looked around at my family gathered by the lake, Caitlin and Ryan, Tom with his sketchbook, Emily with her gentle smile, I felt a deep sense of peace settle over me. Our journey had been marked by challenges and triumphs, laughter and tears, but through it all, we had found our way back to each other. And as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow across the water, I knew that our family's story was far from over. We would continue to navigate life's twists and turns with courage and grace, guided by the enduring bond of love that had carried us through every chapter of our journey. I woke up to the gentle rustling of leaves outside my window, a cool breeze carrying the promise of autumn. It had been a year of growth and reflection for our family, marked by milestones and moments of profound connection. Caitlin and Ryan had settled into their roles as parents with a grace that inspired us all, their children thriving under their loving care. Emily continued to dedicate herself to her volunteer work, her compassion touching the lives of those in need. And Tom, ever the artist, had embarked on a new series of paintings that explored themes of resilience and transformation. As for me, photography remained a constant source of solace and inspiration. I had recently embarked on a project to document the changing seasons in our hometown, capturing the beauty of nature as it transitioned from summer's warmth to the crisp hues of fall. Each photograph was a testament to the passage of time and the cyclical nature of life, a reflection of the lessons we had learned as a family. One afternoon, while reviewing the photographs from my latest shoot, I received an unexpected phone call from Caitlin. Her voice, usually steady and composed, carried a hint of concern. "Dad," she began, "Ryan's been offered a job in another city, a great opportunity, but it means we might have to move." I listened quietly, a mix of emotions swirling within me. The prospect of Caitlin and Ryan moving away filled me with a sense of sadness and apprehension. Our family had grown closer than ever over the past year, and the thought of being separated was difficult to bear. "That's wonderful news for Ryan's career," I replied, trying to mask my feelings with a supportive tone. "Have you both had a chance to discuss it?" Caitlin sighed softly on the other end of the line. "We have," she admitted, "and we're weighing our options. But Dad, I wanted to talk to you about how you feel about it." Her concern touched me deeply. Caitlin had always been attuned to the emotions of others, a quality that had endeared her to everyone who knew her. I took a moment to gather my thoughts before responding. "Well, Caitlin," I began, choosing my words carefully, "change is a part of life. Your mom and I have always believed in following opportunities that bring fulfillment and growth. If moving is what's best for your family, then I'll support your decision wholeheartedly." There was a brief silence on the line before Caitlin spoke again, her voice filled with gratitude. "Thank you, Dad," she said softly. "I knew I could count on you to understand." After we hung up, I sat in silence for a while, reflecting on the conversation. Change had always been a constant in our lives, shaping us in ways we never expected. I knew that whatever decision Caitlin and Ryan made, our family would navigate it together with resilience and love. In the weeks that followed, Caitlin and Ryan weighed their options carefully. They visited the city where Ryan's new job was located, exploring neighborhoods and envisioning their family's future there. Meanwhile, Tom poured himself into his art, channeling his emotions into a new series of paintings that explored themes of transition and growth. One evening, over a family dinner at our home, Caitlin and Ryan shared their decision with us. They had decided to accept the job offer and relocate to the new city, a decision that filled me with mixed emotions. While I was saddened by the thought of them being farther away, I knew it was a step forward in their journey as a family. "We're going to miss you all so much," Caitlin admitted, her voice tinged with emotion. "But we're excited about this new chapter in our lives." Emily nodded thoughtfully, her expression filled with understanding. "It's a big change, but we'll find ways to stay connected," she reassured them. Tom, ever the optimist, chimed in with words of encouragement. "You'll both do great," he said, his voice filled with confidence. "And hey, it'll give us an excuse to visit a new city." As we finished dinner, we discussed practical details and timelines for their move. Caitlin and Ryan were relieved to have our support and understanding, knowing that our bond as a family transcended physical distance. In the days leading up to their departure, our home was filled with a flurry of activity. Boxes were packed, last-minute errands were run, and heartfelt goodbyes were exchanged with friends and neighbors. Emily organized a farewell gathering in our backyard, a bittersweet celebration filled with laughter, tears, and memories shared. On the morning of their departure, we stood together in the driveway, our hearts heavy, yet filled with love. Caitlin and Ryan hugged each of us tightly, their children waving enthusiastically from the back seat of the moving truck. Tears streamed down Emily's cheeks as she hugged Caitlin one last time, whispering words of love and encouragement. "Take care of each other," I said quietly to Ryan, clasping his hand firmly in mine. "We'll be here whenever you need us." With one last wave, Caitlin and Ryan climbed into the truck and drove away, leaving behind a quiet emptiness in their wake. As I watched them disappear down the street, a mix of emotions washed over me: sadness at their departure, pride in their courage, and hope for the future that lay ahead. In the weeks and months that followed, our family adjusted to the new normal. We stayed connected through phone calls, video chats, and occasional visits. Tom continued to create art that explored themes of change and adaptation, while Emily's volunteer work provided a sense of purpose and fulfillment. As for me, I immersed myself in photography once again, capturing moments that bridged the physical distance between us. A sunset over the city where Caitlin and Ryan now lived, the changing colors of autumn in our hometown, and the quiet moments of reflection that brought us closer together. Through it all, our family remained united by love and resilience, navigating life's changes with courage and grace. And as I looked ahead to the future, I knew that no matter where life took us, our bond as a family would endure, strong and unwavering, forever rooted in the memories we had created together. I stood at the kitchen window, a cup of steaming coffee cradled in my hands, watching the soft rain patter against the glass. It was a quiet Saturday morning, the kind that invites introspection. Since Caitlin and Ryan had moved to the new city for Ryan's job, our home had felt quieter, a subtle void left by their absence. Yet, our family remained close-knit, connected by frequent calls and visits that bridged the physical distance. Tom had returned home from art school for the holidays, his presence filling our home with youthful energy and creative inspiration. His latest works adorned the walls of his studio, a testament to his growth as an artist and his exploration of new techniques and themes. I often found myself drawn to his studio, marveling at the depth and emotion captured in each brushstroke. Emily continued her volunteer work with renewed vigor, her dedication to helping others a source of inspiration for us all. She had joined a local community organization, organizing fundraisers and events that brought together people from all walks of life. Her passion for making a difference in the world had only grown stronger over the years, a quality that had always drawn me to her. As for me, photography remained a steadfast companion. I had recently started a new project focused on documenting the beauty of everyday life, a series of photographs that captured fleeting moments of joy, reflection, and connection. Each click of the shutter was a tribute to the resilience of the human spirit and the enduring power of love. One evening, as I sorted through photographs for my project, a familiar envelope caught my eye. It was tucked away in a drawer where I kept cherished mementos, a collection of letters, photographs, and notes that told the story of our family's journey. I picked up the envelope, recognizing Caitlin's handwriting on the front. Inside was a letter, a handwritten note that transported me back to a moment of profound gratitude and reflection. Caitlin had penned it shortly after their move, expressing her love and appreciation for our family's unwavering support. "Dear Dad," the letter began, "I wanted to thank you for everything you've done for us. Moving here has been a big adjustment, but your love and guidance have helped us through it. I miss our Sunday dinners and our talks in the garden, but I carry those memories with me every day. Thank you for always being there for us." Tears welled up in my eyes as I read Caitlin's words, feeling a surge of love and pride for the remarkable woman she had become. Her heartfelt gratitude was a poignant reminder of the impact a parent's love and support can have on a child's life. That night, I shared Caitlin's letter with Emily and Tom over dinner. The warmth of the kitchen enveloped us as we reflected on our journey as a family, the highs and lows, the laughter and tears, and the unbreakable bond that had carried us through it all. "She's grown into such a strong and compassionate woman," Emily remarked, her voice tinged with pride. Tom nodded thoughtfully, a smile playing on his lips. "Yeah, she's amazing. We're lucky to have each other." As we cleared the table and washed dishes together, a sense of peace settled over me. Our family had weathered many storms, navigated change and uncertainty, yet emerged stronger and more united than ever. The physical distance between us and Caitlin and Ryan had only strengthened our appreciation for the moments we shared. In the weeks that followed, I continued to immerse myself in my photography project, capturing moments that celebrated the beauty of everyday life. Each photograph became a testament to the resilience and strength of our family, a visual narrative of love, connection, and the bonds that held us together. As the seasons changed and winter gave way to spring, we planned a visit to Caitlin and Ryan's new city, a chance to reconnect in person and create new memories together. The anticipation of seeing them again filled our home with excitement and joy, a reminder of the enduring bond that transcended miles and years. On the day of our visit, we arrived at Caitlin and Ryan's new home, greeted by warm hugs and joyful laughter. Their children raced around us, eager to show off their favorite toys and newfound discoveries in the neighborhood. We spent the day exploring the city together, visiting local parks, and enjoying a leisurely lunch at a cozy cafe. As we walked through the city streets, I marveled at the vibrant energy and diversity that surrounded us. Caitlin and Ryan shared stories of their new life, their favorite local spots, new friends they had made, and the exciting opportunities ahead. It was clear that they had embraced their new surroundings with optimism and enthusiasm, their resilience shining through in every word and gesture. That evening, as we gathered around the dinner table in their cozy dining room, I looked around at our family, Caitlin and Ryan, Emily with her gentle smile, and Tom with his sketchbook in hand. The room was filled with laughter and animated conversation, a celebration of love, resilience, and the enduring bonds that held us together. As I reflected on our journey, the challenges we had faced, the moments of joy and sorrow, and the unwavering support that had carried us through, I felt a deep sense of gratitude. Our family story was far from over, filled with new chapters waiting to be written, new memories waiting to be made. And as I looked at Caitlin, her eyes shining with happiness, I knew that no matter where life took us, our love for each other would always be the foundation of our family's journey.